You came out and got it, didn't you?
Oh,
Little turd came out and ate it. Saw him come out from under the wood. Little bug. Little rage bug. He's a little guy. Not very big. And mad. He's angry with me. I took his lunch away.
yeah.
I got him weird. Like in a weird spot. And his little skin won't let me pull it out. There we go. There we go.
Hold on, let me get this started again.
I think they could be smaller. If I work on it, I can get them smaller. He's gonna go shoot off.
I have no idea where he went.
He went under the boat.
Here's another great question. Fishing, like most other things, has exceptions to the general rule. What are a few for fishing? For example, fish don't typically bite during cold front conditions. So yes, generally speaking, cold front conditions, the bite is slow, the bass aren't as active, they don't want to bite as much. But yes, there are exceptions. For example, cold front, a lot of times to me, bass are more affected by cold fronts during the colder months. Seems like the colder the water, the more affected they are when a front comes through. Whereas in the warmer months, especially in the spring and again in the fall, early fall, when the bass are feeding the most, they don't get as affected by the fronts. I think both of those time of year, you're getting more fronts, for example, coming through. That's one of them. The bass kind of become acclimated to it. But also, they're in feed mode. They got the feed bags on, they're eating, and at that point, they're really not gonna let anything get in their way. Certainly not a cold front. So I don't think they're as affected during that time. You can catch actually, at times I've caught more fish during cold front conditions during those times of the year than any other times of the year. So those certainly are some exceptions. But there's other exceptions of fishing that I've noted as well, and you probably have too. For example, I've caught fish on topwater baits on New Year's Day in 42-degree water when bass aren't supposed to be hitting topwater. Typically cold water, winter conditions, bass don't hit topwater lures, but there we go. I caught some fish on them because for whatever reason they were busting fish in the surface when they're not supposed to. But that's an exception. Another time is I've caught fish as deep as 75 feet deep. I was fishing a tournament in very clear water, wasn't catching too many fish, and so I just kept going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And here's a really unusual, I actually caught him on rooster tail. Yeah, a lure that typically doesn't go very deep at all. I put it on. I put together a drop shot or a split shot rig and put a rooster tail on it and threw it out into deep water. I had to wait, it seemed like 30 minutes for it to get to the bottom. But I started catching fish that deep, and they were little fish. They were only like 12 1/8 of an inch. I think I brought in 5 fish for like 4 pounds. But I ended up in the top 5 because everybody else struggled to catch fish at all. Most people blanked. A very unusual situation, but you know, it's an exception. Another exception is during wintertime, I've actually caught fish on fast-moving crankbaits in really deep water. When fish are supposed to be lethargic and not willing to chase down baits, I've caught caught fish on fast-moving baits during the wintertime. So there's always exceptions, and I think the reason being is it's a notion that it was instilled in me by my fishing partner a long time ago, and that is the fish don't read the same books we do. They don't often do, sometimes they don't do what we expect them to do because they're off on another page on a different book that we've never read. So when you're not catching fish and you're struggling to catch them, think outside the box and think about what could they be doing that they're not supposed to be doing, and you might stumble upon a pattern that wasn't supposed to be happening that day.